Hey guys, it's been an insane day and night difference in the last 2 weeks since we spoke. We have gone from booking 2 to 4 calls a week to 2 to 4 calls a day. That's literally the message that my client sent me yesterday after a 1-hour call with me and my team. We literally are now taking his coaching business from booking 4 calls a week to 2 to 4 calls a day, which is going to scale them up to $100,000 a month and more. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you this exact training I gave my client who is paying me thousands of dollars to get this training and to get our help. I'm gonna give it away for free. So if you're a coach or you're running a personal brand and you're looking to book more sales calls into your high ticket offer, in this video I'm gonna be explaining exactly the mindset that you need to have for yourself and your sales team and your sellers in order to convert cold audience and warm audience into high quality booked calls. I'm going to show you how to spot the bottlenecks in your business and how to analyze data and how to understand exactly where is the biggest leak in your funnel right now that you can go ahead and just fix it. And I'm actually gonna give you away actual scripts and conversations that are helping our clients generate $100,000 and $200,000 and $300,000 per month with their businesses. Okay, this is the exact formula on how to set appointments in your DMs if you're running a personal brand. So let's jump into it. Let's go.
I reviewed the data and everything. Let's put it this way. First, before we begin, Sean, did you watch the videos?
No, actually not yet. The setting ones you mean?
Yeah, I mean, Jared, you did good work on the videos. It gives me a lot of clarity on kind of where we are with things, and especially it's going to be important as we like double down on Instagram, scale ad spend, focus more on content, all those things. Like the more we run, of course, we want to have the systems kind of dialed in. But if I summarize what I understood, and is that we did about 2,000 outbounds, or sorry, I don't know, 1,200, right? But or I don't remember the number, but third of them replied. So we had about 600 people active convos with. Plus, on top of those 600 people, we had about 200 or 300 inbounds. So total of like around 900 like actual conversations, and then from them we had 20 booked calls. That's kind of the overall rough data. Is that correct?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay, so just based on what I'm seeing on this data, the biggest bottleneck is in the convos themselves, right? In between the responses to the booked call. And that's the stuff that I want to talk about today, because there are multiple solutions and multiple problems that may cause it, right? But it's not, we don't have a closing issue because we only had 20 booked calls. We don't have an outbound issue like we used to have in the past, because you guys are doing quite good numbers in terms of like outbound. You are reaching out to the new followers that are coming in. Like how many outbounds a day you guys are doing right now on average?
About 100. Bit under 100.
Yeah, it's about almost 100. Yeah, because
yeah. So Jatin, to keep you up to date, we just discussed basically the main bottleneck that we see is like that we have about, I don't know, like it's a 900 quality leads, convos, reply, like active unique convos, but then only 20 booked calls. So the main challenges are in the convos themselves. Were you able to watch the Loom videos, Jatin?
Yeah, I did go through the Loom videos, and I know Jared was mainly specifying on how, let's say, the leads are not serious. That's where you went to, like, let's say, the majority of the part, right, Jared? And I just also wanted to ask one thing. The two main tweaks that we made initially was the outbound message and also like the way we explained copywriting. What I really wanted to know more on that, it's like, did it help in the oral conversations to move towards the booked call, or people were not even interested even after that?
yeah, we're definitely getting people more interested.
Okay, but you see,
We've had like a surge of book calls in the last 4 or 5 days here for whatever reason, but for the first 2 weeks that we were doing it, there was like almost nothing happening.
for the first 2 weeks when we changed those scripts, or when you mean the first 2 weeks nothing was happening, you mean like when you changed those scripts nothing happened and now it's happening, or like can you tell me more on that?
Yeah, because we changed like the copywriter, the explanation as to what it is, and for the first week or week and a half or 2 weeks, people were getting interested, but there was nobody that was actually like booking in.
Mhm.
And then for whatever reason, like in the last 5 days, we booked like 7 or 8 calls.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like all the results just kind of like
And the calls,
Mm.
did you
lagged
already,
out.
did you go ready to speak to those people or not yet?
Some, I think.
Hmm?
I think Ben's had a couple.
Okay, so it's good for us to get a feedback too. But what I want to do in this call is go over the active convos. Jared, you can pull up the active convos that you showed in the Loom, and we can talk about them together with Sean here. Just because I want to like frame your guys like mindset on like the convos, because in my opinion, there's a lot of like money that we are missing on how we handle the convos. So I left marks on the Loom videos. Actually, I left some emojis on there on some points we can go back to that I think we can optimize, because at the end of the day, like we have a ton of opportunities. Like there is like 1,000 people that we talk to, let's say in a month, but we only book 20. So it's about changing the approach on how we do things. I saw there that you have certain automations that you're using, and if you see leads that are not serious enough, or you just get a sign from them, maybe they're not a good leads, then you give up on them. Like those are things that ideally we need to change, both with like the way you run the follow-ups. I don't think that's converting, at least I didn't see that. Same thing with like the way we approach the business model. At least I don't know if what you saw in the Loom is the after or before the changes that we did with the team. Some explanations were better, some less, but I just want to work on like the way we like talk to the leads, in my opinion, and that's where I think Sean, you're gonna be also like a big help. How often do you guys talk right now, like Jared, Sean, in terms of like reviewing convos in the DMs?
It's not so much
Almost-
reviewing live conversations, but definitely if there's specific interactions that they're like, how should I handle this? What should I say? What would you say? Or that sort of thing. We go back and forth at WhatsApp quite regularly.
Okay, but it's not something. It's not something that like out of the 1,000 convos that we have a month, you like 99% you don't see, Sean, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Facebook, I get the notifications come up, so I kind of see quite a
Okay.
few bits of conversation. Instagram, though, there's
Okay.
so much volume, so I don't honestly check Instagram very much, but I should check it more.
Yes, that's the first. Like I want to teach you guys stuff, but I also want to teach you guys like how to manage as a team. Because like Jared, you are based on the videos, like you are an awesome setter and a team member. I think like it can work really well. It just comes down to changing the way we do. So something that I really like to set is like and is you Jared like send Sean like every day or every 2 days if you guys have a meeting, or without a meeting, it doesn't matter, depending on how you guys want to set it up. But like the top leads for the day. So for example, like you have, I don't know, 50 convos. Out of the 50, like let's assume 10 or 5 are like really good ones. And then you have Sean dedicate like 20 minutes a day to review those. And step by step, the convos would improve. And I know you are speaking, I saw it, you are speaking in Sean language. So that's not the problem. It's not about the language. It's not about like, being cool in the DMs or being smooth and kind of talking like you, Sean. But it's more about like, how do you approach a lead? Like, how would you qualify them? What questions would you ask? Or how would you overcome their objections? Or how would you explain the business model? Or how would you get them excited even on the business model? Because something that we need to really understand on the DMs is like similar to marketing, right? So we are all marketers. We do copy, right? So with what's the goal with copy is like we want to get people excited about the copywriting, about the opportunity that there is, right? If they get excited enough, they would proceed, they would move forward, stuff like that. The problem here is like majority of the no, I wouldn't say a problem, but it's something we need to understand. Majority of the convos, they come from outbound that came from shoutouts, which is like very cold audience. Yes, they saw Sean's content 1 time, 2 times, maybe 3 times. Maybe they follow for a week, even 2 weeks. But like all the content they're consuming is short form type of content. The content that was on Sean's profile, it's not yet something that I can say, wow, it's really gonna convert them, right, Sean? We talked about the content. There are some improvements to be made. Even after they would be made, we still gonna need to have this mentality. But what I mean is like people are not yet convinced about the opportunity for copywriting, right? So of course, when we ask them like, and they want to make more money, they say yes. But when you go into the copywriting, they don't know about it, or they don't know enough, or this and that, and like and that's why a lot of the time we get resistance, because they haven't like watched anything long form from Sean. They haven't consumed something that would already convince them. So then if we're already coming from the mindset like they should know something, and then we aim for those people, then, or at least even we don't aim for those people, but the way we talk, we don't get them hyped enough, then we're gonna lose on so many people. So something we teach in the DMs is to have the mentality of like how can we hype them in every message almost, and that's where we want to bring on like specific situations, talking about results, talking about testimonials, talking about this, but in a unique, in an authentic way, instead of like, oh, here's a testimonial, but more of like a story, like, oh, she just got off the phone with my client who went from like 0 to 5K, like by signing 3 clients. Example, this is just random example. Or if they ask something like like I would say even a proper example, like you want to ask them about their country, instead of just asking them, hey, where are you from? You can say something like, yeah, so our program is getting people to sign their first 2-3 clients as copywriters. So usually they make between 3 to 5,000 a month online from by being a copywriter. But the thing is, it doesn't really work for anybody. It only works in certain countries in the world simply because of like certain barriers. So I would love to understand where you're from so we can see if this opportunity can be a good fit for you. Just like example, like a quick change in the script. I'm not saying we need to make this change. I'm just trying to give you guys like how to think of it. And Jared, let me know if that makes sense. Now they tell you their country, but like they're more receptive now. Oh, they're more receptive in there, and you build it from there. But like almost every message needs to lead into them getting more, like they desire it more, like the opportunity, and then we want to get them into a way that they would want to book a call. That's usually where the gap is. I don't know if that makes sense. I want to dive more into the convos, but first I want to set like the mentality around it. And in my opinion, the way to would really make a progress, that's why I mentioned it first, is showing you to work with Jared a lot more, especially for the first few weeks, to make sure that we sell the idea. Like we want to sell the idea in the DMs, just like we sell it on the content, and we want to sell the idea in a way that would keep the convo flowing. If we can achieve that, and then later on, once we have some success, we can base scripts on it, and we can even look on like maybe on some convos, Jared, you're already selling the idea, so we can look into like the successful convos, start replicating them, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's also a numbers game. Like right now, we have 1,000 convos, 20 booked calls. So how can we make it like 1,000 convos, 200 booked calls, or 150 booked calls? It's just like small optimizations that would get that percentage up. And then the second thing that we need to work on is that I haven't seen yet, but it's like the post call. So sometimes even when we get them excited, they book a call, they still don't know too much about the copywriting opportunity. So then they need to watch the VSL. You guys have a great funnel, all of those things. But then what I notice, I don't know about you guys, but I notice people come to the sales call without watching the VSL and without consuming enough case studies and long form information. So we also need to set that up in the right way towards like how would the people who book a call to make sure that they always gonna consume the long form information, so we don't take sales calls if they didn't consume it. So then it's easier for the closer to close. And that's kind of the two problems that in my opinion we can fix, and more it's gonna lead to more booked calls and then more quality calls, because even if the people they don't know too much about copywriting when we book them, we just explain to them in the chat a little bit, but then they get excited enough to watch the VSL, but we do it in a certain way that they actually watch it, and then we send them some case studies and they watch them as well. They understand a lot more. It's gonna be way easier for Ben to close them on the phone. So that's kind of the two only things in my opinion we need to work on. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if you have questions.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I definitely think like the biggest weak or the weakest link in the chain is getting them excited or getting them like interested, like going from like cold to someone interested in it, to get to a point where we can qualify them and have them have a good conversation about how it would actually work. I think as far as them showing up on the calls, like I think for the most part they consume the VSLs and stuff. I'm not sure if I've heard any feedback otherwise, but
cool. Then let's focus.
I guess I'm open to working on that too, but definitely the number one thing is helping getting them interested in the first place and excited about it.
Correct. Yeah. So let's dive into that. Sean, does it make sense to you from your end?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got a pretty solid pre-call nurture sequence in terms of our emails, and the setters like they make them watch the Loom before they even suggest booking a call. So they've already watched that. I'm assuming that's the case, right, Jared? Like you send the Loom first, right? And then you
Yeah.
propose the afterwards.
Yeah, well, so one of the things I've been doing actually, because I've been trying to solve this problem for a while about how to get them kind of excited, and basically what I've been trying to do over the last couple of weeks is just send the Loom right away, like just get them to watch the Loom right away, because that was just my idea of like how to get them someone interested or excited at the very least. But maybe there's like a little bit of like build up I need to do before or after I send the Loom too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely been sending it a lot.
I
Yeah,
saw
but
it.
so many I'm in comments on the Loom like in the last few days, which is cool.
Oh, okay, cool. That's good to see for the people that watch
You
it.
get it on the Loom notifications?
Yeah, everyone's saying I'm in. They sound pretty excited.
Yeah, I saw the Loom. To be honest, I haven't decided yet if I'm a fan of it or not. Just so you guys know, I saw it that people respond. We do need to track it and see how many people respond. Like some people, sometimes when we send them the video, we lose people as well, right? Some people don't even watch it. So it depends which stage of the conversation we send it. We want to send it only after they are excited. That's kind of the thing. Because like if we send it before they are excited about it, of course, the Loom purpose is to get them excited, right? But if we send it before they're excited, some people are not gonna watch it, or let's say big percentage of the people. So that's something we need to test. I haven't seen that in numbers, because part of the tweaks that we can do in the process, I don't know if we need to do it. I'm just kind of having you guys play with it to test. Is to send them the like book them, explain to them everything, book them on the phone, reach out to them then on Instagram or WhatsApp or everything, then get them to watch the videos. And we have a script that is working like almost 95% for the people after they book to make sure they watch the long form video. So that's also something possible to tweak. And that's there. It's only for you to test. Like let's assume if we find out that you had like I don't know 400 conversations and to all of them you sent the Loom and only like let's say 50 watched it, so then we lost on about like 350 people that now are on the follow-up sequence, which doesn't really work, and then we lost them. Rather if we keep the convo from the 400, we book 100 and then we get them to watch after we got them excited and everything, because it's easier to keep it inside Instagram. So those are just things we need to see. Maybe it's true, maybe not. I can't say it without like actually seeing the details of it. I know we didn't have that data, that's fine. But these are the things that you guys can track even just on a 2 days basis, 3 days and 7 days, whatever, and then make the decisions and then tweak it and see. Yeah, does it make sense?
Yeah. So I guess how do we dive into the nitty gritties of getting them excited?
You can share your screen. Let me give you access. Maybe you share your screen. You can open either the Convos or the Loom. I think a lot of the knowledge can come from me, from Jatin, but also from you, Sean. Like, it's gonna be, we need to brainstorm and like understand how do we responses. But what I noticed there in the responses, a lot of some people, the warm people, they are like, no, I didn't follow for your pretty face. I follow for the copywriting stuff, right? Or some they get the joke and they get serious. So obviously those are like the warm leads. So it's easier to keep the convo. But some people are like they don't get the joke, or they do get the joke, but they don't, like I saw where the transition is out. So I think like let's just review the convo together and like role play and like come up with suggestions. Jatin, you have anything to add before we begin from your end?
No, I think you pretty much covered everything. Yeah, I think we can proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose this is relatively new to me as well, because when I was selling myself, we were helping established copywriters to get clients. So it was really easy to speak their language, speak to their pain points, demonstrate my
Exactly.
authority. But I haven't done it to a completely cold BizOp audience and have to explain what copywriting is. So that's kind of a new concept for me as well, and why I'm interested to see what you guys have and what you've seen your other clients in the BizOp space, with different vehicles having success with in explaining their mechanism.
I think then in general, explain the mechanism, it's always the same for every offer. It's just different mechanism, right? But you do need to think of it as somebody that doesn't know anything about anything. They just know they want to leave their job. They just know they want to fire their boss, or they want to make extra 2,000 a month online or anything like that. That's their goal. But they have no clue on how to get there. You can also assume sometimes they tried something in the past and failed. So they tried like drop shipping, or they tried Amazon, or they did, like, many people tried something, they failed, or they even tried something, it was too complex, they didn't even try. Like, they thought they're gonna try, they watched some videos, or they bought a course, but they didn't try. So that's the mentality of this audience. And then you're featuring to them an opportunity. Of course, until they don't understand the opportunity, they're not gonna buy or even get excited. But so you need to kind of think, how can you break down the opportunity in the simplest way? And for you guys, it's like I saw in few of the copies, you're like, hey, business owners, like, they need more customers. The way to get them more customers is one of the ways is emails. All you need to do is learn how to write good emails that bring business owners customers. You write few emails a day and you get paid for that, something like that, right? So we need to, like, understand how to explain this process. If I was correct about the process, we need to explain this process in a way that is like sexy, and feature it in a way that is like, we feature the benefits of it. Example, you can do it anywhere in the world. Any business need more clients. So if you can achieve this, if you can learn the skill set, you can actually help any businesses. So then you choose which businesses you want to work with. If you really like restaurants, maybe that's your niche. But if you really like coaching, that's your niche. Like, you can help any business, etc. So it's like, we need to break down the benefits of the business. So then people that will be a good fit, they would say like, aha, this is for me. So for example, something like, you can also mention like, these are for people who love to read books, or who love to watch movies, or love to tell stories, for example. And it's almost like everybody. So now you are attracting the right people almost. Like, that's the kind of the stuff that we need to think about, and then include it obviously in the setting script. And the more kind of the sexier we position the offer and the opportunity, and we break it down in a simple way that they can foresee themselves get clients already, then that makes sense. But if they are like, we feature it in a way where they're like, yeah, even if I learn the skill, how the fuck do I get clients? So difficult for me. They can't comprehend it. Then they're gonna lose interest. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
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 I mean, I've got an explainer reel, the one pinned to the top of my like posts. Would you experiment potentially with just sending them that explainer video? It's like 60 seconds, and I literally explain what is copywriting.
That's actually a good point. So it's really good to use resources inside Instagram in the DMs. So we can test it. We can test sending the video, or taking the copy from the video, changing it into messages, and then using it in a shorter way in messages. So to keep it in the conversation, both options can work.
Yeah, because that pretty much in 60 seconds covers like, what is Gmail copywriting, and the hook's basically like, did you know you can get paid $50 or even $100 to write a simple email for businesses? And the reason is because blah blah blah, and then I kind of go into it and the opportunity. So it's pretty engaging. It's like well edited, so hopefully it will hold their attention enough for a TikTok brain person.
What is your experience, Jatin, with sending like this video in the DMs?
If you send the video, like
inside
the longer version of the Loom?
No, like a video that is on the feed, to send it in the DMs.
I mean, as long as it's less than 60 seconds, it's good. But I've always seen like a text work better than the video. Only if they say that they don't understand it, that's the time I send that reel.
So you send them the text that is similar to the video.
Yeah.
Short, but if they don't get it yet, then you're, no worries, let me send you this, and then you send them the reel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But if you, let's say you send like what Jared is about to do, Jared mentioned that you're sending Looms direct away to get them excited, right? Or to have the business model broken down. I've seen there's a lot of drop off ratio if you send it like in the beginning, because they really don't know who Sean is, what the offer is, and they have to go through a longer video. I've seen a lot of people don't get back. Let me know if that's the same case here as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was starting to suspect, is that a lot of people just don't really like watch it in the first place, or they don't get all the way through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a pretty big drop off right at that point.
Oh, so you're confirming like there is a drop off in the Loom?
Yeah, I think so.
So that's the first change we have to implement. Like keep getting them excited, and then have people watch the Loom after they book a call. And the script that we like to use, I have a script in my mind. I'm going to give it to you guys, just like tweak it a bit. But the script that works really well for the post book call video, is basically the closer reach out to the lead who booked the call and say something like, let's assume it's Tuesday now, the call is on Thursday. So it's like, hey Gilad, excited to talk to you this coming Thursday. On the call I'm gonna be covering exactly how you can go from literally knowing nothing about copywriting, nothing about emails, to becoming a great copywriter who can earn 3,000 to 5,000 a month USD online from anywhere in the world. So that's how you start. That's the first message, and you kind of introduce yourself. That's the closer, and then you can say, "Hey, it's Gilad from Sean's team. I'm the head of client success, whatever." And then you introduce you send that message, and then the second message is gonna be like, in order for me to walk you through step by step how you can achieve it, Sean just recorded a quick video that that is gonna cover all, that is gonna explain to you all the basic foundation. So then, if you watch it once you come into the call, we can really talk about high level stuff and walk you through how you can implement it for yourself. Is that cool if I send it over? And then people understand like it's for them. Like people understand like, okay, if I watch it, you will be able to help me more on the call, or the time is going to be more effective, etc. So then they say yes, it's on WhatsApp or Instagram. So it's like it's very personalized pretty much. I know we have the emails and stuff like that. You keep that. That's all the automated stuff. The personalized way just convert 100%, and you can like get a setter to do it, or you can get a closer to do it. Always look on the calls he has in the calendar and like message them. But then they say yes. You send them the video. You tell them, hey, let me know your thoughts after you watch it. They send the thoughts back. If they don't, you follow up with them. And then after they give the thoughts, you can already like have some voice messages with them if you want. Then get them to watch even more case studies. Like you can send them. Actually, that was gonna be awesome if you watch these too, like a client interview. Let's say you interview a client for 30 minutes. You can send them that as well now. And like the more they watch, the better, pretty much. But that's kind of the way we've seen work for if we want to transition and get them to watch the video after they book a call.
Got
Does it make
you. Okay.
sense?
So pretty much just get rid of sending the looms entirely, because the loom's like 13 minutes long or whatever. So we should be trying to qualify them, get them excited, and get them on a book call without even sending the loom in the first place. That's more of a after they book the call kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess now it's just more of like, how do we do that as well? Because I think based on that, we kind of have to change everything almost entirely. Because the reason I like the loom specifically is just because it just explained everything. Like the offer, I could kind of get them excited a bit.
I know, and it makes your work easier because you don't have to do it, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I
No,
thought
I'm
it was
just
kind of the path of least
being
resistance.
honest. It makes the work way easier. Of course, I get it. But the problem is, again, that's the main problem, is like you send it, but they don't watch it. Like the ones who do, nice. Like so, again, we are only converting like the warmer leads. So you get 1,000 people in, 10% of them are warm. So they gonna watch the loom. Out of them, you're gonna book the 20. So you have the 10% who are warm. You're gonna book. All the people who are not warm yet, you lose, because like it's just like the short attention span attitude. It's like it's everywhere. So it's like they use Instagram, they talk to us and everything. It's very hard to get them from a convo they don't care about yet to go and spend 15 minutes on the loop. But it's easier to keep the convo with them, get them excited, have a quality conversation over there. And then once they're excited and they're like, wow, Sean is the man, like, they book a call, and then they get all the stuff to watch because they already know, oh, I have this call coming on Friday. I'm going to need to do those things before I get onto the call. All those things. It's they're a lot more invested, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Loom's supposed to be pretty bottom of funnel anyway. Like, we're not really sending it until the immediate step before we book a call. So typically, the step where you would book a call, that's where we send the Loom, and then you say, here's all the details. Hit me back if you're in, out, have any questions. Let me know.
Not really, not really. Based on what I saw in the Loom video, Jared is asking them, do you know anything about copywriting? They say no, and then it's like, oh, here it is, and then send the Loom, right? Something like that. So then,
We're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be sending it like the immediate step right before the call. So it's pretty much once we've already qualified them, got them a bit excited, talked about their goals, where they want to go, is this a priority? Then it's like send the Loom, and then once they hit us back, then it's book them in. That's how it's supposed to be anyway.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
okay, cool. So it makes sense, Jared, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well,
Yeah.
I was trying to kind of do it like the older way too, but that wasn't really working. So I thought I'd just try it the send it right away kind of thing too. But
Yeah. At the end of the day, I want to teach you guys, like, everything I'm telling you guys here is just data. Almost like if you can think about it, and that's why I want you guys to meet more often, track data more often, because at the end of the day, you can just analyze those things on a weekly basis and make optimizations. We may talk now, go over the scripts, etc. We may see improvement, we may not. Hopefully we would, I believe we would. But let's assume we see some improvement, we will still be able to optimize even more, see more improvement, etc. Just by keep looking and into things and seeing, always spotting like where is the big drop. Like for example, if in the past the big drop was in the first message, so then you guys tweaked it, now we get 30%. Fine, that's amazing. Now we continue the convo, so now the big drop is getting them excited. Okay, good, let's fix it. Then we may have a drop in the sense of like we propose 100 calls, only 20 are booking. So what's happened with the other 80, for example? So then we need to see why. Example, like that's kind of the almost always analyzing where we are and where is the drop until we get the process to fully be smooth for BZOP, and then it's just about spending more money on traffic and staying true to what we know is working. Cool. So let's go into convos and unless there's anything else, but in my opinion, let's jump into some convos so we can do it like live.
sure. Well, let's. All right. So appreciate the follow.
Thanks, George.
Yeah. You are not that good looking. Here for the motivational stat. Yeah, people, I hear that all the time, motivational stuff. And so, yeah, I always kind of ask like, okay, like, what do you want motivation for? I could be wrong with asking that question too. I'm not really sure, but
Jatin, what are your thoughts here?
pardon?
No, I'm just asking Jatin, what are your thoughts, Jatin, on this?
Yeah, could you just scroll up to the outbound sent? Okay. So here's the thing. These, let's say the outbound messages are good for openers like to build an initial relationship, but I believe the transition gets harder. They say that they're looking for motivation and all that. It becomes more indirect. That's why, Jared, we had decided to split test the outbound message where we specifically talk about, hey, appreciate the follow. I help people, I help people gain high income skills so they could be on generating passive income just using social media. Curious if that's something of your interest, as my content attracts audience of similar interest. So if you send this outbound, which is pretty much like straightforward, you get like a yes or no answer. Is this something you have been testing already?
Yeah, we've been running this for a week or a week and a half already.
Uh-huh.
I actually think this has been pretty good. It's been pretty solid.
The one you said, Jeff, we tested that for a couple months.
Yeah,
and
it did.
was quite low.
So the response rate was not good on that?
No. Well, Jared,
Yeah.
Well,
you could say,
it was better than the previous iteration, I think.
so better than I.
But
What is better? Like what percentage? 10%, 20%, 15%?
Well, here's what I know is because I remember meeting with Jathan one time and going over this.
Yeah, I remember it was 20% at that time I saw.
Yeah, it was like 20 or 25%, and now that we're doing the new one, it's like 30%.
Okay.
I would go with 20% on the old one rather than the 30 on this one in general because it's gonna get the conversation to flow naturally into copywriting. I mean, yeah, unless we can really like figure out the transition, like it needs to be very individual, like based on their answer. Where the other one is like it's very like, yeah, I want to learn how I can make more money, and you talk about that.
Yeah. Okay.
So thing is this conversation, like it'll go longer and you have to like put in extra efforts to even build a rapport. Whereas if you can keep it straight, qualify on what they followed you for, whatever you're offering, is that something that they're interested in, then you can position your offer also in a more exciting way. So it's also like the flow of the conversation.
Sure. Well, I guess let's get into like a specific example here.
Yeah, let's continue the convo that we looked.
What was it? This guy?
But that's a change I would want us to do for sure. Would do. But let's continue because anyway the learnings are gonna be the same. But even when people tell you like I'm here for the motivational stuff, the question you ask, in my opinion, what do you want motivation for? I think it's a pretty good question. In general, because then people would usually tell you like I want to improve my life, etc., and then you can transition that into copywriting. Um, but then the only thing that I would add is instead of just asking them the question, like like to add some context or report, if that's possible, like from Sean's perspective. So Sean, maybe you have something smart to say about like motivation, whatever, how you found your own motivation or whatever, or something like that, and then you can lead their answer into this thing. Like if you share with them something and then you ask them the question that you asked, that's also possible because you
Yeah.
can always like direct the conversation based on what you're telling them. Like if I'm gonna talk about myself, then I can say something like, "Yeah, I remember being in the military and like nothing, life was shit, and then I found out like how to build like an Instagram page, and I found my motivation ever since I found my vehicle, and things started to kick in." I don't know, it's just something like that. What do you need motivation for? Now, like something simple like that. It's more personalized for me, but they're gonna say probably something similar. Or I'm looking for my motivation yet. I'm looking for my vehicle to actually be able to break free from this like thing. And then you're like, oh, that's copywriting, etc., etc. So you want to lead the convo in some way.
Yeah. Even if you see like the conversation here, it kind of goes like, oh, I wouldn't say off track, but he's talking about fights, combat, and all that. It makes you like put extra efforts to bring back into the frame. But if we had set the context on the very first thing, hey, this is what I help you with. Is this something you're interested? You're already hooked on, you've set the frame for the conversation just through your outbound message. That'll make your task a lot more easier.
Okay. So even though the response rate is lower, like the frame set better, so we should just continue
Yeah.
on that way.
Yeah. The thing is, if you have an exact data, like if this is really working well in terms of outbound, like for sure, like more than 30%, and it's also getting you more booked calls, then stick to it. But what I just see is that we don't have that exact data, but on the previous one we did, because the outbound message was changed and also the ManyChat tagging was set up at almost around the same time. So like that's something we can count on, and it's also worked for other clients. I could send across multiple conversations where we follow the same approach, and a lot of outbound DM closes as well as appointment sets has happened.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I could even scroll down to in and around the time we were doing that too. Oh, maybe not that one specifically.
Yeah. I think you've gone till Jan. Okay. no.
Yeah. So yeah, this was the new one, correct? Yeah. This is the
Mm,
one that you and I talked about.
yeah. Not familiar, but we teach. I'll just say like full-time income, not FT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scroll
But
down.
yeah,
All right. Anything else?
yeah. You can scroll down.
Yeah. So I would get this a lot of times. It would just be like a one-word answer, like yes. And for me, I just be like, okay, like I need a little bit more here to work off of. So my immediate response is like, okay, like what caught your interest here? What's interesting you about this?
Okay. So instead of that, I would ask, it's like, cool. So are you, first I would like qualify on the location, but here, based on profile, you can see it's from like a first world country. But here I would just ask the next question. It's like, are they familiar with how they could be making anywhere between uh $300 to $500 a day just by writing emails, or a week just by writing emails. And when they say no, please give me clarity, that's the time you position the offer and make it sound more exciting, right? If you're asking this in the second question, what happens is you're asking a deep question and they just connected with you, right? And first thing is the trust. Not everyone would open up, and the second thing is they have to put in like a lot of efforts to write the message. Unless they're a hot lead, they won't do it. They'll just give surface level answers. So first get them excited about the offer, make them want it, and then you would go ahead and ask their deeper why.
And when
Okay.
when we get them excited about the offer and get them to want it, Sean, that's what we discussed earlier, and we need to come up with a good few messages to send that would open them up. It needs to be personalized, it needs to be simple, it needs to do all of that work for us. So basically, Jared, instead of like you thinking they open up first and then you can work with it, you need to think on like, okay, they say yes, like this is a good lead, he's looking to make money. You need to be doing the first move, almost like you hit up with a woman. You want to make the first move at the beginning. You hit up with a woman. She doesn't like open up immediately, right? You need to like make some jokes. You gotta like get her interested, get her excited until she's like, wow, this guy is something, and then she's like starting to laugh. She's starting to open up, etc. Same thing here. Just need to get them excited about the opportunity, and get them to understand this is something that they would want to open up to, and then they would probably like open up more. This makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I have a feeling if we review a lot more of these conversations, like it's like we're pretty much going to be taking these same notes.
Yes,
Um,
let's scroll. Yeah, it's gonna be the same. Yeah, because you're doing the same with the convos. So that's the thing about setting. It's not that hard to optimize. Like we just need to review a few and like dive into them. Oh, it didn't reply after this one, or it did? Yeah, just lost my job. Yeah, scroll down.
I
yeah.
thought that was a message for a second. I was like,
No, no,
Scroll
no,
down.
Ryan and I we write notes in here a lot, just so that we're kind of on the same page because we're like handling the same leads and stuff.
Scroll down.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
Yeah, then the VAs messaged
Yeah.
him for some reason.
You see, like everything we discussed on is been happening on this convo. Like everything. Like one, I would just say, just so you guys know, I wouldn't assume he's broke immediately, in my opinion. Like, Sean, you guys offer like financing or no?
Yeah. Well, we have a payment plan.
Cool. So like usually if it's from the US or Australia or whatever the country, right, tier one, most people have money. So of course this is something we can qualify them once they go through the form and once this, but you can ask them like what are you like you can continue the convo with them. That's what I would say. I wouldn't give up on them. Like for example, one of our other clients, they gave up on everybody who said they're a student. And in my opinion, and not just opinion, I see it with clients, we close many students because not all students are broke. Some students on tier one countries have money, they have jobs on the weekends, or they come from rich family, or they worked before they became a student, whatever, like that. So we shouldn't assume immediately they are broke. We should keep the convo if we can. Of course, if you now have so many leads that are all like you can see they have more money, yeah, focus on the better ones. But you don't want to disqualify that quick. That's kind of what I mean. Because probably this guy or somebody else who you think is a brokey would hop on and like would be a close. So if you want to maximize, that's how you do it. But then the second problem that we saw here is he wanted to know about the business model. You sent him the video, never responded again. So it's like it's the same thing. So probably that's things we gotta fix. Getting them the opener, getting them excited instead of seeing the video, keeping up the conversation and not assuming everybody is broke, keeping up the convo, getting them excited. Something also to say that I just want to prevent from happening in the future that we notice is like sometimes people don't open up about their finances before they watch some long form video. So for example, like a problem that we saw many times in the DMs is like you ask them how much money they have to invest or a qualification question that is direct about their finances, and they don't respond to it very well. They say I don't have or I don't this or that, even though they have, because they haven't like trusted you enough yet or learned about opportunity and stuff like that. So usually we do qualify them about their work and their country in the DMs, which people are more open to, and about their goals. But then in the application form, we do ask them like how much money they have to invest, and we make sure they watch the video as well afterwards. So it's a lot easier. And then if they in the application they say they have $0, for example, or they say they don't have the finance to invest, what we do is we requalify them in the DMs. We cancel the call, or before we cancel the call, we do the same thing. We send them the VSL, they watch it, they get educated, and then we requalify them on the money after they got educated. So then most people may say they have the money now. Also, if they still say they don't have the money, then you cancel the call. That's how you keep things efficient and you don't lose on people who just say they don't have the money because they are just tired of coaches or coaching programs who ask them those questions, etc. But they didn't really get to trust like Sean so far so well that they are going to open up really about those things. So this is something that I don't know if we do or not, but something that to keep in mind as well.
Yeah. So should the work versus like the workflow of the call be almost like, or we should get them booked and then almost kind of qualify them for finances afterwards? Or what do you think about that?
You qualify them for country and for their work and their goals.
Okay.
Well, the Calendly already has some financial qualification questions.
Exactly. But if you know it's an engineer from Arizona, and then you know they have money, right? But then they may say they don't in the application, right? So that's fine. You requalify them. But mostly, like even an engineer from Arizona, you ask them like if they have money to invest in coaching, and they may say no, even though they may say in the application they do, just because of the different intimacy and that's what we saw on the chat. Most people would like say they don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people who are like broke students and they ended up getting on a call and paying in full. And I've had people who had high paying jobs and they couldn't even afford the minimum payment plan. So you don't really know until you make the offer at the end.
Exactly. That's why we just want to at the end of the day, sales is about two things, right? It's about volume and efficiency, right? That's the two things that the sales is all about. So first, we want to basically maximize all volume. If we're gonna now assume everybody doesn't have the money, we lose a lot of volume. But then we want to make the process efficient. So then the volume that we do bring, we can pull from that volume the people that can be closed and like bring out the people that can't be closed.
Yeah, got you. Okay.
I think that's a lot of work for you guys now. Like, I don't know if we should keep going. Maybe Jared, let me know if you have more questions. Robin as well, Sean. But in my opinion, the biggest thing is like to one, implement all those things. But then Sean, for you to step in and be a little bit more involved. I know you want to be more hands off, but it does
Yeah.
require you to, in my opinion, like now after everything we taught here, you know how the convos should be. So if you step in and help with some convos, Jared can pick up the flow, and then it's just I think we would see immediate transition in the way of how profitable the Instagram account is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think this
I feel like
sounds
we
pretty
need to
good.
keep it a bit more lighthearted and conversational at the beginning. It's a little too deep too soon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Do you have any example conversations that you could potentially share from like other clients that have successfully closed, just so we can like
Yeah,
sort of
I'd actually shared the same in the Slack channel earlier, but let me send it again. I believe like since the setters were outside the Slack, it never went to them.
yeah, we're still trying to add them to the Slack channel.
Yeah, never mind. I'm gonna send it on WhatsApp.
You guys don't get the emails? What's the issue over there?
For getting onto Slack, I always
Yeah.
get the invites, but when I click accept invite, like I always get an error. That's basically what's holding me up right now.
Yeah,
So-
I'm in the same boat really with the error Slack invite as well.
Maybe like I'm not sure, but this sounds like maybe you need to pay for Slack. I don't know. Like usually it's free for 90 days if you use Slack Connect. If you have a free account, maybe you can join. I'm not sure if that's the
Yeah.
problem.
I'm not opposed to paying for it. How much is it? Like 10, 20 bucks a month? That's
Yeah, $5 maybe. Yeah, but yeah, unless Sean, you have a Slack for the organization, and then you just connect the organizations.
I don't even know what account I have.
Yeah, I just sent you guys all the invitations again, so check it out, and we'll figure it out. But if you want, you can also like if you don't use Slack often, you can just create another. You can send us another email, like a secondary email that you never use Slack for, and then you would have again like a 90-day free trial or something on the Slack.
I send the conversations on WhatsApp also. I'm gonna pin it. I'll send it again on Slack.
Ah, brilliant.
Yeah. So this conversation, it's mainly for YouTube automation offer, but it can be replicated for same any B2C offer. The outbound approach is the same. The qualifying framework is the same.
Yeah, it's still BizUp, right?
Yeah.
It's up, yeah.
so it's this folder I should be looking at here.
Okay. Can you go back? So these are different type of conversation. Let's say a general conversation is what a normal conversation would look like. Can you click on it?
Yep.
In this, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 examples, which each different cases of scenario. You can you click one? So you go from right to left. So start, this is an outbound lead, and if you scroll down, it'll be an appointment set. So you always go from right to left as you
Maybe
read.
Left to right, I think.
Left to right, yeah.
Hope that wasn't a weird question.
Too good follow up.
Yeah, so basically like right here I should be like, oh, okay, like how familiar are you with copywriting and how you can make money with it or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So most of them, 99% of people are going to be like, never heard of it. Don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Totally cool.
But here he understands it. So I directly went into the time qualification. If you see here, he told like I understand the concept of automation, just need to get started. So here I didn't explain. But if you look at the conversation where they're completely new, I would position the offer in a way that they would say yes, make it sound exciting, and they would move ahead.
Got you. Okay. So are there ones in here that have never heard of it?
Yeah, you'll find those examples as well. Here, this is one example of that. He told he's never heard of it.
Yeah. So this is the explanation. I take it.
Yeah. So this is also so whenever they say like they ask some questions, and if it's there in some kind of a free community, either school Facebook group, you can just send the link and proceed with the conversation. That's just like adding value, build a relation, and proceed with your next question.
Perfect.
In this case, he's talking about which niche to pick. So we already had a video on which niches works the best. So I sent him the link to Facebook group where the training videos were, and then I proceeded with the next question.
Got you. What's the Facebook group? Like, what's the idea behind that?
It's just like for lead nurturing. They have like free training videos in that. Now, of course, it's going to be school, but earlier it was Facebook groups.
Maybe that's something we should consider doing as well. Send them to the Facebook group.
Not always. Like you see here, I only sent it because he asked, which is the good niches to find. So the training videos are inside the Facebook group, right? So he can join that and he can get nurtured if he's a serious enough lead. But always get a call booked first. But if you actually have an active group that's engaging as a part of nurturing process, make sure they join that free group and go through it, right? So they can start seeing the wins in the group and all that.
Yeah,
Okay,
group's
gotcha.
not nurture, to be honest. Like, it's pretty dead. It's just for, I occasionally post two-step posts and that sort of thing to raise hands, get comments, and start setting conversations. So it wouldn't really make sense in this context.
Yeah.
honest,
So
You also don't need it, John. If you have a good VSL and you send it with script I said, and you send it in a personalized way, and they watch it, plus you have some case studies, you send them all of that post-booked call, it's enough. And if they also get the emails, like it's more than enough. Like offers I own, but also offers of our clients, like they all work. If you have this flow.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, that's it for my side. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any other questions as of right now. I'm sure I will as I kind of like dive deeper into this and get the ball rolling on it. So,
Sounds good.
would
So
you
you
guys
got-
be up for
Give us a story.
playing this in like a week or two?
Yeah. Keep us posted. Send messages, but definitely set up some calls with John, in order to review the things that you're doing. But feel free to send it either in WhatsApp, in Slack. Me and Jatin will review. I really think if we make those changes, we're gonna see immediate results when it comes to the booked calls and the sales. I'm gonna also send the recording. I'll show you have the tracker here, so you have the recording. So if you need the script or the stuff that we said, just go back to the points in the recording.
Yeah, this was really helpful, especially to see some of these conversations as well, because this is new territory for me with the BizOps stuff too. So that's helpful to see how people position the offer and conduct the flow of the conversation.
Yeah, it's gonna be easy. Just guys like model it, tweak it to your industry, and that's it.
Yeah, because talking to established copywriters is piss easy. Like I can, I am one of them, so it's like super easy. It's just it's like they're at a higher level and they already get it, and it's just like you can hit on a specific pain point, which is like they can't get clients, and it's like bang, straight in. So yeah, with an audience that's like so low level and unaware, it's like there's a big bridge to gap, pretty big gap to bridge. So
yeah, you can look at it as a big bridge to gap, but you can also look at it as like they just have a different problem. Like those copywriters, their problem is like they can't get clients. Those people, their problem is they can't make money. It all comes down to how you position it. Because if you position it simply of the solution to the making money, it's almost like how you position it to the solution of getting clients. It's the same thing, just different positioning. And then you get their level from awareness to where you need to be in order for them to buy. Almost. It's just like a little bit of few more levels than that's happening on the long form video on the VSL after they book a call. Or during the convo, even when we get them excited.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, cool. Implement some of these changes, and then I reckon Jarrett and Rye later this week, maybe Friday or something, we can catch up like once you've started sort of approaching the leads this way, and we can dive in deeper and try and optimize it.
Yeah,